The youngest will be 13, the oldest will be 63, who happen to be the mother of the house. But it does look like it's a family. Most people that are there are of the same surname. Those that are not of the same surname, they had some form of relationship. So it's a family. Why those people who could come here and wipe everybody off is something that we'll have to find. But as police were attending to this, they received information that there are people who were doing some cleansing down about 1.5 kilometers from here. Well, we have gone and see that scene. In that scene, there were 4 people who were standing outside, and as they saw the police, they exchanged fire with the police. Police shot back, killed one, injured one who was arrested, and one is arrested and injured. One has run away. Fortunately, they know who ran away. So we have seen one of those guys, and they gave us the story that indeed they were doing some cleansing, and they gave us the name of Nyanga, their witch doctor, whom they say comes from Swaziland, and all that. But a person that has died, it looks like he is the guy. His name is Sores. I don't know the real name, but his name Sores is linked to too many crime scenes, special murder around here. We believe that formally and officially police will be linking, but he's known to have been really notorious around here, Maritzburg, even in Durban, Nanda, and all that. So that's a person who's lying down dead when the police responded to the information they received here. So it's a crime scene, terrible. Too many people were lost here. But as we say, that we thank police that they managed to respond quick on the matter. They've arrested those 2 people, one injured, one dead, one ran away, and 3 firearms. They found the 3 firearms to those people that have exchanged the fire with the police. They are working in linking the crime scene to this crime scene. So that's a situation that has come up.
All right, Minister, let's just take some questions. I see that there is a question right top of your...
Sure.
Go ahead.
Minister, when we've previously reported on this area, we used to report on gangs that operated here, which was largely behind the high crime rate that we saw in this Plesisla area. The person that you're talking about, the person that has been shot dead, is this, do we know anything more? Is this a gang leader? Was this, you said other crimes, was there any specific crimes, robberies or murders? Or I just want to understand the nature of what they were getting up to around here.
Well, this place has not been giving us peace for a long time. And you remember that there were people that were linked to the crime here that were shot and killed sometime in a place called Scottville here. Those would have been part of this. The problem with these gangsters, as their boss die, the new one mushroom and become more vicious than the previous one. Yes, the guy has been linked, as you asked, to some murders. At one stage, one scene here around, I think that is an Alexandra case that is linked to 3 people that were shot around here. Nanda person was shot and all that. Fortunately, the person, or unfortunately, that we spoke to seems to be knowing a lot. He will help us because he's an Uber guy who has been driving them around when they commit all these cases. So that's a young boy of 24. Whom himself we hope will take us through. But he has been linked, and the police have been after him for some time. This guy called Soros.
All right, Minister, News 24.
Minister Nkosiko from News 24. I just would like to understand from you, do you know what the cleansing ceremony was about? Have you been told any details as to what could have caused this particular attack, and why specifically that family? What are their interests, so to speak?
Well, I'm not going to put any cart before the horse. The investigators will tell us on that. But yes, there are a lot of meat where they were cleansing. But fortunately, they've given us even the name of Inyanga. They say Inyanga comes from Swaziland, and that's a Inyanga that they use all the time. So that linked them to other activities, because it did agree that boy that usually they go to Inyanga before and after the activities. But the motive and why here and all that, there are things that we would know. But I will allow the investigation on that one to give us the facts.
Right, Minister, down here.
Minister, from from the SABC. Minister, we know that Pietermaritzburg Police Station has been on the top 5 for such a long time when it comes to crime stats. During this time, also when you speak to residents, they're saying that they're still fearful of these kinds of crime in the area, because as the first scene was active, there was also the second scene. They believe that police are not doing enough in terms of removing firearms from these criminals. What is your take on that?
Well, we talk about the police that have acted to date. We talk about the police that have reacted. For the fact that 2 people are in the hands of police, 1 is shot dead and all. Yes, I agree. It could have been earlier and all that. But you seem like you were in the meeting yesterday with the National Commission and the top management when we were saying most of the communities, and Pietermaritzburg is one of them, that have completely outgrown the police stations. The provincial commissioner, where is he? Stood up there and took the deputy national commissioner to say all that is on the other side, until other side is one police station. And maybe it would be premature to get again to tell you the results of the meeting, but is one thing that we have taken on board to say this Pietermaritzburg cannot be allowed alone to deal with this work, and we are really working on that, to work on the expansion of the police here. But it's a place that we have been put our eyes on. We were here a year or 2 where we put the extra resources of special personnel, which means we need to revisit those activities and those actions, and we see how far do we take them. But we're also making the call on the community to help and work with us, because as we were walking that side, everybody were ululating and thanking and saying thanks for that guy who was shot there, which means they know is a person well known to the community and all that. But we do thank some members of the community that work with the police, because if they were not, we would not have got that information after this one. So we thank the members of the community, and we continue to work with them. But indeed, extra work needs to be done here.
All right, colleagues, let's just see if there is some new hands before we take the last round. You've got a new hand, and let me just see indication of any more hands. So it's going to be, go ahead, KZN
Minister,
TV.
I would like to know what evidence led you to these alleged suspects, because normally you would think that suspects, after conducting such crime, they would run away from the area. If you could please share what led you maybe to catching these.
Your name again?
I am the director from KZN TV.
Well, the information was received by the police when we were still here. But whatever happened, for the fact that there was an exchange of fire, because it was morning, it was also it was almost the time when the sun was rising, so they could see. As they came on that house, I think it's a Mbata house. As they came on that Mbata house there, these guys were standing outside, and for the fact that they exchanged fire, which means they knew what they were doing. Even if we're them or not, for them to exchange fire with the police, that's enough. And police reacted on that, and fortunately police came tops. They get in there, they found that there was there is a lot of muti and all that kind of thing. But the person that we spoke to confirms that that was an activity taking place there.
All right, last bite from the ENCA.
Minister, I think beyond Pietermaritzburg, it's common knowledge now that many people have colloquially said that KZN is a crime scene because of the number of shootings. In fact, if you were to visit every one of them, I think I'll have to give you a room at my house, because you'll be here every day. It's really a situation where communities are not feeling safe because of what's going on. Yesterday, there was a school pupil who was shot dead on the North Coast while she was walking home. I'm sure you're aware of that. There's been the taxi killings that took place yesterday. So you spoke here about an issue of resources. If you look beyond that and you look at the province, because you can't just say it's one particular area, it seems to be happening in a few areas. What have you already picked up that you need to do to give citizens here reassurance of living in a place that's safe?
I fully agree with you. It looks like the problem is beyond than where we are today at Imbali. As you say, that there were two taxi shootings yesterday, Verelem and Pinetown. And there is shooting that took place in Wamashu. There is shooting of that young person. But the KZN, for some reason, has grown this notorious industry of murders. When I say so, they say maybe I'm too harsh to KZN. Last week we were at Fort Hare, where we know there was a shooting of the bodyguard of the Vice Chancellor there. Out of those 3 people there from university, 2 they come from KZN. The trigger puller comes from KZN. A person who stole the car from Brea in Durban and drove the car to kill that person there come from KZN. So there should be an extra concentration of this industry. As you know, the lady, the health one in Tembisa, 6 people arrested come from KZN. So it's an industry that we really need to sit down with the national committee. It's a national issue rather than the provincial issue in terms of resources, in terms of both personal, money and otherwise. That will have to work. But also with the communities of KZN, with the industry of taxi industry in KZN, and other people will have to do an extra work when it comes to KZN and this industry of killing.